that's going to actually value the Ethereum network at around $60,000 per ETH.
Attention crypto holders, altcoins are about to explode. Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Link, so much more. Comment what altcoin you like. I'm reading your comments, and save this video so you can look back on it later, just like you can look back at our videos from around this time. Fidelity to roll out Ethereum trading for institutions next week. Fidelity will officially make Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, available to all of its customers on October 28th. It is possible that we could see Ethereum at a price point of $2,000 per Ethereum sooner rather than later. In this video, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you the data. I'm going to show you the metrics like I always do. So make sure you watch the whole video today. And let's get started. My prediction is this. In about 1 month, it is highly likely that the Federal Reserve cuts rates. In about 2 months, it is highly likely that the Clarity Act market structure bill gets passed. These are just some of the incredible tailwinds that will send prices sky high, exploding like never before, not just Bitcoin this time, altcoins. Altcoins will pop on Bitcoin's strength. And Bitcoin is looking strong. Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O Leary, says 1 year after the market structure bill gets passed, he is confident Bitcoin hits 250K. Listen.
What is your 1 year target price for Bitcoin? Where do you see it at?
In a year from now, if somehow this act got approved in the next, call it 6 months, a year from then, 250,000 for Bitcoin. That's what I think.
Look, guys, Bitcoin's going up, Ethereum's going up, quality crypto coins are going up. It does seem clear to me that Bitcoin is digital gold and has a lot higher to go over the next few years. So I'm very bullish, but I think I might be even more bullish on Ethereum. Ethereum has a lower market cap than Bitcoin, so it can pump a lot harder. But even more than that, Ethereum has yield and so many more features that Wall Street loves. See, Wall Street doesn't typically like gold. They like Bitcoin because it's this new nascent asset class exploding with growth, but Wall Street doesn't typically like things that are just gold. Think about it. Wall Street typically likes things that are more like Ethereum. And ETH is truly exploding for this very reason. Hey, crypto traders, limited time exclusive trading bonus. You can earn immediately $4,000 in free Ethereum if you take your trading to WEEX Exchange. It is very easy to get a $100 bonus immediately, or a $1,000 bonus immediately, or up to a $4,000 bonus immediately in Ethereum using our link below. Like I said, limited time offer. We're seeing so many Ethereum treasury companies copying Michael Saylor's playbook and accumulating Ethereum like never before. Why? Because a lot of people prefer what you can do with Ethereum as this underlying treasury asset. Andrew Keys, co-founder and chair of Ethereum treasury company Ether Machine, explains why Wall Street is increasingly choosing a little Bitcoin and even more ETH.
So with Bitcoin, there's one asset and one thing to do. You can have a Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain, and the only thing you can do is send it from you to me. With Ethereum, we can digitize any asset. We can have a stable coin, a stock, a bond, a derivative, an insurance policy, a parcel of land, intellectual property like art or music. And with that, with those digital assets, we can embed them to any type of digital agreement. So we can say, if something happens, then we send the payment, else failure. Those if then else statements are called smart contracts. And I believe that the total addressable market for Bitcoin is that of gold, or 22 trillion, where the total addressable market for Ethereum is essentially evolving the World Wide Web, which is an exponent of just one singular use case of gold.
So you believe that the growth trajectory for Ethereum far exceeds what we can see for Bitcoin?
By many, many multiples, because Ethereum essentially can be the next generation of the World Wide Web. And in addition to that, Bitcoin is unproductive, whereas with Ethereum, Ether has the ability to generate yield. And that's why we believe that a vehicle like this, the Ether Machine, is best suited for public market investors.
So why do you say Bitcoin is unproductive?
Because there is no yield. It's like gold. It can kind of sit and be there as a store of value. Ether is like digital oil. So for every transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, it requires a micro payment of this digital commodity, and it generates yield.
Hey, real quick, let's take a minute to highlight partner of the channel, Tangem. Tangem isn't just another cold wallet. It's true privacy. No internet connection, no servers, no data collection. Out of 4 million Tangem cards produced, not a single one hacked. Protect your crypto anywhere, every day. Freedom in your pocket, anonymous, secure, and 100% yours. Get 10% off with our partner code Altcoin linked below. Tom Lee echoes that Ethereum is the biggest macro trade over the next 10 to 15 years. And he's perfected the sales pitch. When Tom Lee talks, Wall Street listens. And listening to his Ethereum pitch here is truly extraordinary. Wall Street's ears perk up hearing things like this, and stay tuned for Tom Lee's newest price prediction.
Ethereum, has probably become the surprising sort of hit for cryptocurrencies this year because it's up 28%, outperforming Bitcoin. But in some of the work we've done, we believe it's the biggest macro trade over the next 10 to 15 years, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that stable coins have really become the ChatGPT moment for crypto. And now we have the Genius Act and Project Crypto from the SEC, which is Wall Street, essentially running onto the blockchain. But one of the best ways we believe to sort of have exposure is through Ethereum treasuries, and that's a company like BitMine, which I've become chairman recently.
Why are you so bullish on Ethereum? What are the opportunities you're seeing in Ethereum in particular?
Well, Ethereum is the second largest blockchain, and it's different than Bitcoin because with Bitcoin, you can't really do programmable contracts, so smart contracts. Wall Street needs to find a stable and legally compliant blockchain to work on. The majority of stablecoin creations are taking place on Ethereum. And when you look at where JP Morgan is building a lot of its layer 2s or Coinbase or Robinhood, they're choosing to do it on Ethereum. So it is the place where Wall Street is essentially financializing the system.
Smash the like button, support the content. I have managed to find a recent video of Tom Lee saying he expects Ethereum to be $60,000 in not too much time at all. This is so big if true, because we're seeing Wall Street incredibly turned on by Bitcoin. I think they're going to be even more turned on by ETH. I think a lot of people are getting turned on to ETH this cycle because of pitches like this.
To get to fair value for ETH, to me, the simplest thing to keep in mind is that I'm a fan of Bitcoin because I think it does store value exceptionally well. But I see many story arcs that are making Ethereum the biggest macro trade over the next 10 to 15 years. The first sort of path is that Wall Street is financializing onto the blockchain. We've got the ChatGPT moment with stablecoins, and now the Genius Act. And then secondly is, of course, Project Crypto with the SEC. But Wall Street is going to move onto the blockchain at the same time that AI and robots are really trying to develop a token economy, and we may see that on Ethereum. So I think Ethereum is the place where Wall Street and AI are actually going to be building a lot of products. So our view of $60,000 ETH is really just a simple sliver of that, just saying that if Wall Street builds a lot of banking activities and just 20% of that share is on Ethereum, and then Ethereum captures a similar share of payment rails, that's going to actually value the Ethereum network at around $60,000 per ETH. So that gives no value to a global market developing, because our view is really just tracking it in the US and of course with AI. But another simple way to look at ETH at 60,000 is just to literally look at ETH at the 2017 lows and then magnitude of the move it made, which was more than a 10x. The reason I think that's happening is that in 2017, that was the Bitcoin moment when Wall Street discovered Bitcoin, and I think now this is Ethereum's 2017 moment where Wall Street is discovering ETH, and a similar magnitude move would take you to 60,000.
Guys, I'm still buying Bitcoin. I'm still buying Ethereum. I'm now more than ever bullish on quality altcoins. Comment what altcoins you want me to include in a future video below. But even though Ethereum is pulling focus at the moment, experts like Cathie Wood are still confident that Bitcoin hits well over $1 million in only 5 years.
It's the gateway into digital assets for institutional. It's a new asset class. That and the really substitute for gold as a store of value, another use case. Those are the two biggest, and those we have not changed at all our opinion on. So I think we can safely say that our bull case is well over $1 million in 5 years.
It is pretty obvious that altcoins are going to explode like never before. Traders and investors can look their entire lives for charts like this and probably not even find it. Cathie Wood is essentially echoing the same thing here about altcoins. Congrats to everybody who's been subscribed to Altcoin Daily and who's been in crypto preparing for this day. It seems the day we've been waiting for is finally here.
What's different from Bitcoin treasuries, like MicroStrategy, now Strategy, is there's just more utility that these Ether treasuries can offer. Staking being one of the most important ones. We are watching our clients and guiding them carefully into the ecosystem. Bitcoin, Ether. We do have private funds, which had a very heavy weighting in Solana relative to ETH. So those are the big three for us. And, we're watching layer twos, of course, as well. The other thing we're going to do, like we have done with Bitcoin, so we put out something called Bitcoin Monthly. It's probably going to be Bitcoin bi-monthly, and we're going to layer into the alternative months Ether, Solana, and then the longer tail. So, and what this does is analyze on-chain or look at and evaluate on-chain analytics as, again, we educate our investor base about the kinds of signaling properties that these protocols have that we don't have in equities or bonds because the transparency just isn't there the way it is in blockchain technology. So we'll do ETH, Solana, and others as time goes on.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're interested in making money in crypto. Stay subscribed. We post one video every day keeping you informed. My name is Aaron. See you tomorrow.